Good day, everyone. My name is Desiree Camus, and welcome to our production management class. Today, we will be discussing about management process. Moreover, in today's agenda, Joewena, Coronel, and myself will be discussing about the two of the most important functions of management process, which are organizing and staffing. Also, we will be studying the different types of organizations, as well as the organization and personnel, which will be delivered to us by Remo Castidad. Are you ready? Let's begin. First, we need to know what is a process. Process is a systematic way of getting things done. It converts input into output. Similarly, management is a process where human resources and material resources are brought together to fulfill the objectives of the organization. Management process is basically a process of setting goals and leading execution of any types of activities such as a project or a process. Using Coates and O'Donnell's definition of management functions, we will be discussing first organizing. Organizing is the function of management that involves developing an organizational structure and allocating human resources to ensure the accomplishment of objectives. The structure of the organization is the framework within which effort is coordinated. It is also associated with the effective utilization of the resources like man, machines, materials, and money for achieving the objectives of the organization. Organizing also arrange and relate the work so that it can be done efficiently by people, specifically, ensure that important work is done, provide continuity, form basis for salary administration, aid delegation, promote growth and diversification, encourage teamwork, and stimulate creativity. The purpose of organizing is to guide, direct, arrange, control, and coordinate. Now let's take a look at the process of organizing. Organizing is the core function that binds all the activities and resources together in a systematic and logical sequence. It encompasses a number of steps which are pursued to achieve organizational goals. Now, we will discuss those steps in detail. Identification and division of work, departmentalization, assignment of the task, establishment of organizational hierarchy, provision of resources to members, coordination of efforts and scheduling of activities. Identification and division of work. The organizing process begins with identifying the work and dividing them as per the plans. Basically, the work is classified into different manageable activities to avoid redundancy, and sharing of work is encouraged. Departmentalization. After classifying the work into different activities, the activities having a similar nature are grouped together. This process is called departmentalization, which facilitates specialization and forms the basis for creating departments. Assignment of the task. After the formation of departments, employees are placed in different departments under a manager, called as a departmental manager. Thereafter, employees are assigned the jobs as per their skills, qualifications, and competencies. For the effectiveness of the performance, the manager must ensure that there is a proper match between the job and the incumbent. Example, the right person has to be placed at the right job. Establishment of organizational hierarchy. Deployment of work is not all. The employees must be aware of whom they must report and who can give them orders. Hence, work relationships need to be established clearly, which helps in the creation of a hierarchical structure of the organization. Provision of resources to the members. In order to carry out day-to-day operations of the organization, arrangement and deployment of resources such as money, materials, supplies, machine, and etc. are indeed important. Coordination of efforts and scheduling of activities. The final step to this process is the coordination of efforts and scheduling activities in a logical and systematic manner so that the common objectives can be achieved effectively. Now let's discuss the importance of organizing. Advantage of specialization. Organizing helps in the classification of jobs systematically amongst the workforce, which helps in the reduction of workload as well as improve productivity. This is because the organization will get the benefit of specialization, wherein workers will perform specific work on a regular basis according to their competency. Describes work relationship. The definition of work relationships describes the flow of communication and determines the superior-subordinate relationship. This removes confusion and chaos in getting orders and instructions. Effective utilization of resources. Organizing function ensures the best possible utilization of resources, whether it is human, material, financial, or technical. This is because jobs are assigned to the employees, which avoids overlapping and duplication of work. Adaptation to change. Organizing process helps the organization to survive and adapt to changes by making substantial changes in the strategies, hierarchy, relationships, and etc. Development of personnel. Organizing encourages creativity in executives. Delegation of authority reduces their workload and they get time to identify new methods to perform the work. It also enables them to explore new areas for their growth and development. Sense of security. Organizational structure clarifies the job positions. Clarity of power helps automatically in increasing mental satisfaction and thereby a sense of security. Thank you very much for watching. Now let me hand over the floor to Ms. Joewena Coronel, who will be discussing all about staffing.
Staffing is concerned with manning various positions in the organization. It involves the determination of manpower requirements of the enterprise and providing it with adequate competent people at all levels. Staffing is defined as a managerial function of filling and keeping filled the positions in the organizational structure. The personnel appointed are a combination of permanent employees, daily workers, consultants, contract employees, and etc. The staffing function of management consists of a few interrelated activities such as planning of human resources, recruitment, selection, placement, training and development, remuneration, performance appraisal, promotion, and transfers. All of these activities make up the element of the process staffing. By Dalton E. McFarland. Thus, staffing plays a vital role in human resource planning. It ensures the best utilization of manpower in the organization. Staffing is the key to all other managerial functions. It helps to maintain a satisfactory workforce in an enterprise. Nature of staffing functions. Staffing is an important managerial function. It is the most important managerial act along with planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. The operations of these four functions depend upon the manpower which is available through staffing function. Number 2, staffing is a pervasive activity. A staffing function is carried out by all managers and in all types of concerns where business activities are carried out. Number 3, staffing is a continuous activity. This is because staffing function continues throughout the life of an organization due to the transfers and promotions that takes place. Number 4, the basis of staffing function is efficient management of personnel. Human resources can be efficiently managed by a system or proper procedure, that is recruitment, selection, placement, training and development, providing remuneration, and etc. Number 5, staffing helps in placing right men at the right job. It can be done effectively through proper recruitment procedures and then finally selecting the most suitable candidate as per the job requirements. Number 6, staffing is performed by all managers, depending upon the nature of business, size of the company, qualification and skills of managers, etc. In small companies, the top management generally performs this function. In medium and small scale enterprise, it is performed especially with the personal department of that concern. Objectives of staffing. Number one, to procure right type of personnel for right jobs. Number two, to train and develop human resources. Number three, to develop personal policies as regards to transfer, promotion, and etc. Number four, to mold effectively the human resources and motivate them for higher performance. Number five, to establish desirable working relationship between employers and employees and between groups of employees to ensure satisfaction of the needs of the workers so that they become loyal and committed to the organization. To build high morale among employees by maintaining good human relations. Three important aspects of staffing. Recruitment. Recruitment is a positive process that aims to attract a larger number of people with desirable profiles to apply for positions vacant in the organization. The higher the number of applicants, the greater the possibility of finding a suitable employee. Number two, selection. Selection is a negative process that scrutinizes the applications received and selects only those who are most suitable for the vacant position. Recruitment invites applications, but selection rejects applications. Number three, training. Training is another positive process which upgrades the knowledge and skills of employees and enhances the ability to perform better. Organization follow the process of recruitment, selection, and training to ensure that all positions in the organizational structure remained with qualified and talented people. However, the business environment influences the way these processes are carried out. Common factors followed in every organization to design staffing pattern. First is the size of the organization. The quantum of human resources of organizations are determined by the size of the organization. The size may be small, medium, and large. The small organization, the organization structure determines the size and in terms the staffing pattern of the organization. If the size is small, the number of employees will be less. The optimum size will determine the comfortable staffing pattern. Number two, employees number. The total number of employees required in an organization also determines the staffing pattern. In labor-intensive unit, the number will be more and staffing pattern provides for more levels. In capital-intensive unit, the labor will be less and accordingly, the staffing pattern will be designed. Number five, the type of number three rather, the type of skills needed. The type of skills needed by the organization also influences the staffing pattern. Normally, the types of skills are identified in workers. A. Skilled workers. B. Semi-skilled workers. And C. Unskilled workers. Generally, skilled and semi-skilled workers will be less number as compared to unskilled workers. The staffing pattern is determined by these types of skills needed in the organization. Number four, clients and customers. Consumer behavior towards the organization also determines the staffing. If the clientele is more, the activity of the organization will be high and requires more personnel. The expansion and diversification may also encourage the restructuring of the staffing pattern. Financial posture. The financial position of an organization also influences the staffing pattern. The financial constraints may come in the way of recruiting the required staff. On the other hand, the sound financial position may have a way of availing required staff. Geographic location. The location of business unit also determine the staffing pattern of an organization. Business units close to business centers may operate with less staff, and distant units may have to work with more staff. The importance of staffing. First is it identifies competent personnel. Staffing identifies the requirement of workforce to fill in the positions in the organizational structure and select right people for the right job. It ensures that people with adequate competencies are employed. Number two, continuous survival and growth. Proper training and employee development programs updates managers with the changes in business environment. The succession planning for managers ensures the continuous survival and growth of the enterprise. Number three, improved performance. By deploying right people on the right job helps business enterprises to use physical resources in the most optimal manner, leading to higher productivity, better efficiency, and improved performance. Number four, optimum utilization of human resources. Staffing identifies the workforce requirements and plans appointment of people accordingly. This ensures that there are adequate personnel available to avoid underutilization or disruption of work due to understaffing. Number five, provides job satisfaction and builds morale. Staffing provides opportunities for growth through internal promotions, appreciates and rewards the contribution through continuous appraisals. This keeps the workforce satisfied and in high morale.
In this video, you are going to learn types of organizational structures. Types of organization. There are three types of organizations in terms of project management in a company. These are functional organization, projectized organization, and matrix organization. We will be going over each type of organizational structures one by one. Functional organization. Similar to a hierarchical organizational structure, a functional organizational structure starts with positions with highest levels of responsibility at the top and goes down from there. Primarily, though, employees are organized according to their specific skills and their corresponding function in the company. Each separate department is managed independently. Advantages of functional organization. It allows employees to focus on their role, encourages specialization, help teams and departments feel self-determined, is easily scalable in any size company. Disadvantages of functional organization. Can create silos within an organization, hampers interdepartmental communication, obscures processes and strategies for different markets or products in a company. Projectized organizational structure. A projectized organization works by arranging activities into portfolios or programs and executing them through projects. In these types of structures, the project manager is the final authority over the project they are handling. Advantages of projectized organization. The team members have a clear line of communication with a single authoritative project manager at the head. With the team working together in the same place, there are faster responses to the client needs, and the completion of the project is achieved on time. Advantages of projectized organization. Learning curves are faster in these kinds of organizations, as all employees learn from their peers' experiences. Versatility in team members increases as they work on a project together. They gain experience from every aspect of it. Project type. Disadvantages of projectized organization. Too much authority for one person can cause arrogance and problems for the team members in some cases. Projects have tight schedules and deadlines, which makes the job environment a bit stressful for everyone. The organization may get a less loyal workforce as the employees may feel they can be laid off after the project is finished. Hiring equipment and personnel with skills can be costly, and since projects can span a longer time, it will become harder to contain the cost if there's too much reliance on external resources. Matrix organizational structure. A matrix organizational chart looks like a grid, and it shows cross-functional teams that form for special projects. For example, an engineer may regularly belong to the engineering department, led by an engineering director, but work on a temporary project, led by a project manager. The matrix organizational chart accounts for both of these rules and reporting relationships. Advantages of matrix organization: allows supervisors to easily choose individuals by the needs of a project, gives a more dynamic view of the organization, encourages employees to use their skills in various capacities aside from their original roles. Disadvantages of matrix organization: presents a conflict between department managers and project managers, can change more frequently than other organizational chart types. Organization. Organization refers to a collection of people who are involved in pursuing defined objectives. It can be understood as a social system that comprises all formal human relationships. The organization encompasses division of work among employees and alignment of tasks towards the ultimate goal of the company. It can also be referred as the second most important managerial function that coordinates the work of employees, procures resources, and combines the two in pursuance of company's goals. Scopes of personnel management. Organizational planning and development. Organizational planning relates with the division of all the works to be performed at various positions, department and division in such a way that they become manageable and efficient units. The integration and the coordination among the various departments and employees are the prerequisites. Differentiation and integration are necessary for the achievement of organizational predetermined objectives. Staffing and employment. The staffing process is a series of events which leads to a continuous filling of positions at all levels in the organization. This process includes manpower planning, recruitment, selection, placement, induction and orientation, promotion, upgradation, transfer, demotion, and separations, resignations, retirement, discharge, disability, death, etc. Training and development. It is very difficult process, and it is concerned with increasing the knowledge, capabilities, skills, talent, thinking power, decision-making ability, and logical ability of individuals and groups, so that they may contribute effectively and efficiently to the achievement of organizational goals. Training is a learning experience in that it seeks a relatively permanent change in an individual that will improve his or her ability to perform on the job. The determination of training needs at all levels, employee counseling and communication, and programs for managerial professionals. and employee development, self-initiated developmental activities, formal education, reading and participation in the activities, seminar and conference, school, college, professional institutions. Compensation, wage, and salary administration. It is concerned with the remuneration to the employees for services rendered and motivating them to attain the performance. Job evaluation, through which the relative worth of a job is determined. This is done by selecting the perfect job evaluation technique, analyzing and dividing jobs into various categories, and then determining their relative value in various categories. Wage and salary programs consist of developing and conveying a suitable wage and salary program. There are several factors influencing wage and salary administration, such as the organization's ability to pay, supply and demand of labor, the cost of living, prevailing market rate, the living wage, productivity, trade unions' bargaining power, job requirement, managerial attitudes, skill levels available in the market, and psychological and social factors. On the basis of these factors, wage and salary rates have to be determined and implemented, and their effectiveness evaluated. Employee services and benefits. These benefits are given to employees for maintaining employees, to provide them social security, and to reduce absenteeism and labor turnover. Policies and programs for implementing these have to be properly assessed. These aspects are concerned with the process of sustaining and maintaining the workforce in an organization. Labor relations. Labor relations means the maintenance of healthy and peaceful labor management relations in order to run smooth and uninterrupted flow of work or production. First, grievance handling policy and procedures are developed. After finding out the nature and causes of grievances or problems and locating the area of dissatisfaction, collective bargaining has to be developed so that all the grievances may be settled through mutual understanding and discussion. Such bargaining and administering agreement relating to wages, working conditions, and living conditions, live, non-monetarily, facilities, and employee-employer relationship. Second, rules and regulations are framed for the maintenance of discipline in the organization, and a proper system of reward and punishment can be developed. Third, efforts are made to acquire knowledge of the labor laws of the country and acquaint the line management with the provisions which are directly concerned with organization. Personnel research and personnel audit. First, a systematic inquiry into any aspect like how to enhance an organization's personnel programs consisting of recruitment, selection, placement, training and development, wages and salary, etc. Second, data relating to quality, productivity, labor turnover, grievances, absenteeism, strike, lockout, wages, accidents, etc., which are observed and supplied to the top managements. Third, policy procedures, findings, and feedbacks submitted to the top executives so that it may alter or improve existing personnel policies and procedures. Fourth, morale, attitude, and interest surveys. In large organizations, some of these functions are performed by persons other than personnel department.
And that concludes our lesson for today. Once again, thank you so much for watching and hope to see you again. This is Desiree Camus, and with me are Joewena Coronel and Remo Castidad.